Hi everyone and welcome to Triple O Adventures with Bill. Before we get started, please consider subscribing to my channel and possibly becoming a Patreon. This video is for owners of the Skyzone Cobra X Goggles if you want to update your firmware. This video is going to show you how to do it, so let's switch over to the computer and we will start the process. Okay, we're going to go to our browser, we're going to go to this website, skyzonehobbies.com, and then we're going to go to downloads. And if we scroll to the bottom, you'll see there is a Cobra S firmware and a Cobra X firmware. So mine is the X, so I'm going to click on there and it should automatically start downloading. There we go, we can open file. So let's go to my downloads folder. There's the zip, let's just go and check in there. And you can see there are two bin files. The first one is your user interface firmware, and the second one is your menu firmware. Now what I do is I've set up a goggles folder on my computer, and there you can see the Skyzone X Cobra. So I then unzip the firmware. We are now ready to update our firmware on our goggles. Now we've downloaded our firmware, we need to install it on our goggles. Now let me grab my Cobra X here. What I did notice, I've tested the update of this firmware 3 times, and I had problems. It wasn't a problem, but when the 18650 battery pack was in, when I went through the whole of the process and then came to the end, it wouldn't reboot. Now, I think it's because the battery was still installed, because as soon as I popped the battery off and then plugged the battery back in, everything was great. So just remember that if you are using an 18650 and they're like I am, you will need to take it out for the goggles to completely install the firmware. Well, that's how it seems to work. Now let's plug our goggles into the computer. We need to get our USB-C cable, plug it into our goggles. Then we have to plug into our computer. Now you will notice the computer hasn't detected the goggles yet. Then we need to hold down the left scroll wheel and power up. Then let go, and now you can hear our computer has detected the goggles, so we can start the update process. So I've plugged my goggles into my computer, I'm pushing the left scroll button and I'm putting the power on. There you can see a drive has popped up on my computer. So now what we've got to do is, now you shouldn't copy these both at the same time, we take one at a time. So let me just take the first one and copy and paste. As I understand, this is actually doing the update as we transfer this across. I will speed this up. Now be patient with this, it does take some time. Okay, that's the first file completed. Now let's go back to the second one, which is the smaller file. We're going to copy that one. Go into here. Right click and we're going to paste that one in. This one will be a lot quicker. Now what we need to do is unplug our goggles from the computer, then power down and power back up. Now if you go and check in your menus on your goggles, you'll see your firmware should have been updated to 1.3.6. That is the latest one at recording this video. Now there are 3 firmwares shown in there. Firmware 1 is your goggles. Firmware 2 is your DVR, and HW is the hardware firmware, so that you can, I wanted to put this in so you know which firmware is which. So when you're updating, you'll know which one to check. And there we go. Hopefully if you followed my instructions, you've updated your firmware on your Cobra X goggles. And as I said in my video on Thursday, when I went through the firmware update, there's a couple of nice features in there now, which is the RSSI calibration, which was very simple to do, and also the drone finder one, which I was really impressed with. So watch out for that video. It'll probably come out sometime, maybe on Sunday, maybe next week, where I use it outside in the field and see if I can find my drone once I've thrown it into long grass. Well, there we go. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below, because I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy flying. Bye for now.